Here we have a new 2023 Chevrolet Trailblazer. This one comes in the RS trim level with front wheel drive in mosaic black metallic, and then we have jet black with red accent cloth interior. Now the powertrain consists of a 1.3 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine mated to a continuously variable transmission. And I love the black on black look here. Coming around to the front end here, we do have LED daytime running lights, halogen headlamps, and then we have our LED fog lights. Great look. They did a super good job making this look like the regular Blazer, but also giving it its own kind of design and flair. And then down here we have 18-inch wheels. Passive keyless entry on the front two doors. And then power door lock controls are here. Power mirror controls are here. We can turn those on and off, and then we can adjust the mirrors using this dial here. Rear window lock, power windows, one-touch automatic up and down for the driver's side. Then we have a bottle holder here. Tons of storage in the door panel for such a small vehicle. And then let's go ahead and pop the hood for later. Headlamp controls are here, fog light controls, and then gauge cluster brightness. You can adjust that. And then we have a manual tilt telescope steering wheel. And here is our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3", and how I like to drive. So before we take a look at the rear legroom, huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Trailblazer today. I'll leave a link below to it, as well as their entire new vehicle inventory in the description below. But hopefully you all can see everything on this window sticker. And you can pause anywhere you need to if you need to take a closer look at anything. Just want to make sure I get all that I can. And this sticker's right at $28,255. So not too bad in my opinion. Now you do get a 3-cylinder engine for that, but this one is pretty powerful for what it is. But let's go ahead and finally hop in the back. Not terrible legroom. I do like that we have the seat back pocket there, and then we have the one behind the passenger seat as well. And then there's a view of the front from back here. Now I think it's the convenience package that gives us that 3-prong 120-volt plug in there, and then a USB-A, USB-C charge port here. And then we do have cup holders right in here. Then grab handle here. We can hang probably a hanger, a good size one at least, on that hook there. But let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. Fuel cap there. And then coming around to the back end, we do get LED tail lamps. That's nice to see. Dual exhaust there. Let's take a quick look underneath the vehicle. And next, let's go ahead and pop the hatch. So for such a small SUV, I like how user-friendly it is. We have the pocket on the side there, and then this side too. Both of them are kind of shielded off, so you have a barrier on either side. You can keep stuff in the back that you don't want to roll around the entire trunk space. And then lift this up, spare tire and such is right in there if you ever need it. As we come around to the rear passenger side, we can fold the seat down by just pulling up here, and that'll fold flat. Then you can see your top tethers are here. And then it's pretty easy to just lock it back into place. And then your anchors are back in there. If you can see that. Right in there, excuse me. Now to the front passenger side, this one is going to be 4-way manual. And then you have a glove compartment here with owner's manuals. And then an additional storage pocket up here if you want to place a phone or something like that. But coming around to the front end again, gonna pull that. And there's that 1.3 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. But now let's hop in the driver's seat. So when it comes to the Trailblazers, one of my favorite things about them, especially in the RS trim, is gonna be the steering wheel. I love how sporty, this looks like a aftermarket Sparco steering wheel. I love the leatherette trim here, and then that sport trim down below makes it look very, very nice. Now over to the radio here, we do get AM, FM, XM radio, Bluetooth audio, and then we also have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility, which is great, a Wi-Fi hotspot, climate controls, which are going to be single zone automatic climate as part of a package I showed you on the sticker. Can't remember if it was the convenience or not, but. And then you can decide airflow here, fan speed, auto, turn that off. You do have to adjust the fan speed there. And then you have actual knobs and buttons if you want to use those, along with 3-stage heated seats for the driver, front passenger. And then that's how we can decide where the airflow goes. Cut the whole system off if we want to. And again, that auto mode. Adjust the fan speed to cut that off. That's it on. Okay. So here, Bluetooth connections, add the phone, it'll walk you through it, pretty easy to do. And then Wi-Fi hotspots, you can adjust that, updates, everything there. Then you have your apps that you can toggle on and off. And then here in the vehicle settings, you can go through your power door locks, lighting, if you want to adjust any of that. And then time and date, go through that here. Language, you can change that if you ever need to. There's a backup camera, guidelines, follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And that's where the hazards are if you ever need them. Now down here we have a 12-volt USB-C, USB-A, and then an aux input. And then storage right in here for your phone if you're running it off one of these. And then your auto stop toggles here, lane keep with lane departure here, traction control, and then we also have a sport mode and a snow mode there. Now for the shifter, pull the lever, reverse neutral drive, and then let off, pull it again for low gear, and then there you can manually shift the revs of the CVT. And then we have an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Cup holders there. Then we do have a center console cubby space with removable top tray. And I like having these because you can stow important stuff underneath here where people just think it's a smaller glove compartment if you're worried about getting things stolen from you. There's a look at the back from up here. Then over here, dome lights, OnStar. And back to the steering wheel. Blinkers are here. And then automatic high beams, we can toggle those on and off there. We can flash the high beams on and off, and then we can flash them there. And then cruise control, turn that on and off there, cancel, resume set, forward collision alert, gap adjust here, heated steering wheel toggle there. And then we have the voice recognition, mute Bluetooth control, and then we can scroll through our gauge cluster using the scroll bar as well as these arrows here. So, tons of different things to look at. I like to leave it on that instantaneous fuel economy mode. And then to this stalk here, one time for the windshield wipers, and then we have intermittent, low, high. And we can adjust the intermittent here. And then we have an intermittent and on function for the rear wiper. And you just pull back for the rear wiper fluid, push up for the front wiper fluid. Here's the push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this Trailblazer RS out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Trailblazer RS, the 1.3 liter actually mates with this CVT quite well in terms of just making sure that you have that pull power when you need it, specifically from a stop. And I did forget to mention earlier, behind the steering wheel on this side, volume up is that top button, and bottom down is the volume down button, or the bottom button is volume down, excuse me, And then on this side, the trackless up button is here, right there, and then the trackless down button is down below there, just in case you're ever wondering what those buttons are for. But I'm gonna give it just a small amount of throttle here. Just enough merging power, as this only has 7 miles on it. But a great commuter car, just having the assistance of that turbo. I'm gonna put the cruise on here. And let's see what our instantaneous fuel economy is. It's showing 27 now. I'm gonna get over a little bit. And then as we go up the incline, 25 miles per gallon. And then as we start to settle back out, you'll see it get to that 30 plus range, which is what you can expect on a flat surface. It's just hard to find that, especially in Tennessee. But you should certainly be able to get that 33 miles per gallon highway that the EPA says this will get. It's showing you right there. Well, it showed it for a minute. But ride quality is pretty decent. The seats are okay. And my lumbar support was pushed up, so that was my biggest issue. So actually they're pretty supportive, and it helps having that 8-way power adjustability. But best thing about the Trailblazer and why I think they're selling so well is you have storage. You can somewhat fit all of your passengers here, and fuel economy is great. It just drives normally. Now what's actually surprising about this vehicle is it is supposed to be a small SUV, so it's supposed to have some SUV in it, but the space that I get being a bigger person is impressive. The seat bottom, I have a little bit of leftover room actually to sit in the seat comfortably without my sides going over, or I should say my rear end going over the sides of the seats. And then in terms of headroom, probably a good 3 or 4 inches up top there. And you just wouldn't expect that with this kind of vehicle. But I think it makes the market less of a niche as well. So bigger adults like myself, male adults, older adults, and younger adults are tending to go towards these kind of vehicles. They're easy to get in and out of. They're usable. If you want something sporty, this can be quick, but it just gets the job done if you need something that is cheap on gas and is also fairly usable. Again, having the storage space that it does in such a small package. Now it's no Tahoe, but if it's just you and your kid or 3 people, this can be you all's mini Tahoe, and you're saving more than 50% in terms of the price. And you're definitely saving when it comes to fuel. But in terms of competition, you have the Hyundai Kona, the Kia Seltos, and then the new Dodge Hornet that's out. But this one's still a pretty good competitor, and I feel like it's actually kind of made a market for everyone else, in my opinion. Just having small SUVs that pack a punch in terms of power, have a lot of features, and they can still be an everyday driver's car while still being able to put grocery bags here, fold the seats flat for longer objects, things of that nature. And I think the only vehicle that really has the Trailblazer in terms of power is gonna be the Dodge Hornet, just because those GTs give you a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder as opposed to this 1.3-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder. But versus the 4-cylinders that are naturally aspirated from the Kona, the Seltos, I would take this one all day just because you do have that power when you need it. And the turbo, the pull you get just feels fantastic for this kind of vehicle, specifically for a 3-cylinder engine. But still a great option if you're in this market, especially for that less than $29,000 sticker price. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Chevrolet Trailblazer in the RS trim level.